The story of how we at Fletcher-Wilson came to know about Jack Ramadan and Factory East is actually a really interesting one. We were very keen on being able to connect with the community here in East London. We wanted to make sure that we were helping or enabling anybody who was out there and could make use of our services. So we set up a competition.
Studio Takeover was a competition to allow people within the local community the opportunity to use our studio for free for a day. And we had maybe 50 applicants. Factory East was one of those applicants that really stood out. Stood out because it was supporting our local community. The conviction of Jack and what he stands for came through in the written application that was made.
He came to us saying that this is what the charity's about. We want to create a promo that will garner some attention in order to get investors and people on board so that they could rerun Factory East as it was now sort of dormant.
Basically meeting Jack, and he's relatively infectious. So within 5 minutes of meeting him, I was sold. We needed to try and help him a bit more. But there was more that needed to be done than just giving him a studio.
With Factory East, we were very aware that this is a journey that's been going on for quite a while, since 2008. So there was a lot of material that we could go back and collate from Jack. We went on a journey trying to source where we could then film our interviews and things like that. We were keen to hone in on areas of East London that would replicate similar environmental feel that Factory East has. It's urban, it's grassroots. So we found an amazing warehouse, abandoned, which was ideal because it had all that kind of rustic appeal of the East End. There's something sort of derelict about it, but it has all that potential, which is exactly where Factory East is at that moment. Dormant, but full of potential.
Right, I put the feelers out about a warehouse. My cousin got back in touch with me within about 6 hours. I hope this is suitable, guys. It's got a lot of feel of what the factory in the first factory in Fairfield Road was like when I walked into it. So it brings back some good memories anyway. This is one of the last warehouses you're going to find in the East End on this scale, because there ain't no more about no more.
Challenges of the location. Almost under the flight path of City Airport. Circumstances meant that we were filming in December, not ideal, in a disused warehouse.
My abiding memory is of it being absolutely bloody freezing.
We put on all our woolens and thermals and plenty of hot water throughout the day and muddled through.
And also the lighting was quite critical because we got a very short window of when we had daylight and limited daylight in the building, but obviously if it changed, it was going to change what we were shooting and how we were shooting it.
Knowing that we had this wonderful location and we had this great wall space, we absolutely wanted to capitalise on that. So we came back and we spoke to our animation team, and from that we understood that we wanted to create a kind of mural, graffiti-style wall art. And that was inspired by speaking to Jack in the first Factory East location they had. They had what was called a wall where people would come and they would just write a little message, maybe mark the postcode they were from, all those kinds of things. For us, that sounded like such a wonderful idea to kind of encapsulate and recapture.
When you come in, you've written on the wall, because it was a big white walls and it was like a canvas, and it needed something done on it. So everyone who's come in there used to write their postcodes down. So before you knew it, it was a wall that high, literally. You used to have a step ladder there, and people used to get up to find a bit of white so they could write where they was from. And it was like all different postcodes from as far as up in north of England they was coming down. I was like, wow, I was shocked at how many people was reaching out to this place.
Postcode wall just highlighted Fletcher-Wilson's creativity. We didn't have many images of the actual wall, and there was a little bit of subterfuge went on. We didn't want Jack to see it or know we were doing it, so that was a bit of fun. One of the best things about the warehouse was it was ours, and we made something happen.
the resultant film that we see is something that I'm so proud of, because it's the sum of some great endeavours by our team at FLETCHERWILSON, and it shows who Jack is, shows what Factory stands for, and that is very beneficial for them.
Because the aim of the film isn't just to tell a story, it's to tell a story to get a reaction, to get people to support it, get people to invest in it, get people to come on board and be trustees or whatever is needed for Factory East.
The biggest takeaway for me from this project is it's been a massive eye-opener. Some of the hard times and hard circumstances and situations that the kids in our local community, just all around us have been facing. I wasn't aware of that until we worked with Jack and with Factory East. So it's been really humbling and made me feel incredibly lucky.
I think making the Factory East film has emphasised how many stories there are to tell, and that telling a story isn't just about what happened, it's about the people, and that's left a lasting impression on me, that somebody did something because they thought it was right, they kept going with it, and people's lives changed for the better because of it.
The biggest warm hug I've had from the project really has been Jack and Misha's and their, everybody's reaction to the edit so far, and that's great for me, but I still want to see it achieve the aims we had for it at the beginning.
I think I speak for the team when I say that embarking on the Factory East project has been a fantastically worthwhile endeavour, and for me personally, it's only emboldened my desire to seek out other projects that we can help, like Factory East.